What's good, everybody, man? Welcome back to the Blue Bloods. I told you guys it's recruiting season. We are going to have more recruiting updates and news than any other FCS YouTube channel, media organization, site out there. Already got an article today on five-star quarterback Sam Heward committing to Cal Poly, but Jackson State continuing one of the most furious paces on the recruiting trail across the FCS lands another commitment today in three-star defensive lineman Stanley Cooks. And this was a massive pickup for Jackson State out of Hawthorne, Florida. Played at Hawthorne High School, 6'1.5", 305 defensive tackle. Played a little bit of offensive line as well in high school. Is a consensus three-star prospect. Is a top 2,000 recruit in the 247 composite. A top 200 interior defensive lineman and a top 250 player out of the loaded state of Florida, and one of the top 50 prospects right now out of high school committed to an FCS program. So a huge pickup. Held multiple FBS offers, held offers from Jackson State, Georgia State, Appalachian State, Campbell, Central Michigan, along with 13 offers. Also visited Georgia State as well. They were a major player in his recruitment, but still decided to commit to the Tigers. Over the past 2 years, 118 total tackles, 29 tackles for loss, going along with 11 sacks. Over his past two seasons of high school football, had 4 fumble recoveries and 3 forced fumbles over those 2 years. His big breakout season was his junior year for Hawthorne, in which he had 65 total tackles from an interior defensive lineman position, 18 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks. That is elite production from a 3-to-1 tech. And you can see here, even in the highlights, you see some offensive line play mixed in here. He was a solid offensive lineman for Hawthorne as well, but Jackson State projects him to play on the defensive side of the ball. He's a big body guy, and I personally believe he's going to stick at interior defensive line. What he does really, really well is he generates power off the ball. He's quick with his get off. He's able to push off and get the offensive lineman off of him. He can read where the running back's going, and he does a nice job shedding his block and making the play. You see in multiple highlights where he extends his arms, overextends the offensive lineman, and goes and makes a play. And is what you want from a defensive tackle. If you've ever played interior defensive line, you know it's not always about the sacks you rack up. Take up space, take up double teams, and when you get those one-on-one opportunities, the best defensive tackles in the country go and make plays in those one-on-one opportunities. That's what elite defensive linemen do. When they get the double, triple teams on the interior, they take up space, keep the offensive linemen from working up to the second level, and allow those linebackers to go make plays. When you get those one-on-one opportunities, what you see in his highlights, when Cooks get those, he goes and makes plays like an elite defensive tackle, and that's going to be huge for Jackson State as they return a good bit of their interior presence for this season. But this is a big pickup because they are going into 2024, 2025, going to lose a lot of those top guys to graduation. I think Stanley Cooks can be a really, really great rotational piece this year. Should see some times, especially with that defensive line unit really seeing a lot of rotation. I think he's going to be able to see some playing time this year. And then going into next year as a sophomore, even the next year as a junior, he's probably going to establish himself as a big time starter on the interior of the Tigers defense. But this was a huge pickup. He has the production, he has the technique, he has the film. And then on top of that, too, him playing offensive line, it'll be interesting to see if Jackson ever runs into a situation where they need him to play offensive line. Are they going to bring him in for special goal line packages, special, power or quote unquote, big formations where you're going to need a lot of offensive linemen on that line in terms of red zone, 4th and 1, 3rd and inches, things like that. It'll be interesting to see if Cooks gets that opportunity, but I think he's going to be an extremely productive defensive tackle for the Tigers this year. Does a great job in run defense and also has shown an excellent job of being able to get after the quarterback when the opportunity presents itself. Does a great job of not just getting straight up the field, very disciplined in his attack, in his game. So a massive, massive pickup here for Jackson State as three-star Stanley Cooks out of Hawthorne, Florida, announces his commitment to the Tigers. Check out our video yesterday as Jackson State landed a JUCO All-American offensive lineman out of Lackawanna Community College. And make sure to bookmark our website, thebluebloodscfb.com, for more recruiting updates. We're going to have an article releasing later today on a 3-star commit for UAPB as well. So hit the subscribe button, bookmark the website, comment your thoughts on Stanley Cooks committing to Jackson State, and make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the like button on the video. But until next time, guys, the Blue Bloods are out.